Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
Hello and welcome to yet another sunny day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know, it's odd because I'm actually thinking and have moved toward putting solar panels on my roof. And as I was coming down today, I'm looking at this leaden gray sky and thinking of the leaden gray sky yesterday and the day before and the day before that. I'm thinking, so if I had all those panels on my roof right now, how much sun would they be soaking up? How much energy? I mean, they get a teeny weeny bit if there's any, if it's daylight, I guess, pretty much. But, nah. It's not a good sales point. You know, I was talking the other day about how Seattle, the weather there is now hot and blindingly sunny. And you know what? I think somehow Seattle and Pittsburgh have switched weather patterns. Except, this is nuts. Although I'll tell you, think of the positives. I haven't had to water my garden. I think I watered it once. All summer. I haven't had to. So in terms of saving labor, that's been nice. Well, hello. How are we? I'm dressed all in black today. No particular reason. Came across a good quote by Kurt Vonnegut. Since I was talking about my kids I grew up with and stuff yesterday, Kurt Vonnegut said, "True terror is to wake up one morning and realize that your high school class is running the country." Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to give you one more quote, please, because I'm looking at a bunch of quotes and I love it. I like this George Gershwin quote a lot. Life is a lot like jazz. It's best when you improvise. Yes! Yes! Take that to heart. Well, I must say, it's a most unflattering picture of Jared coming out of this police trailer. He forgot to suck his tummy in. He wasn't. Oh my God, he looks very flabby, doesn't he? You see that? He looks a little soft. He looks pillowy.
Looks a little bit like someone who's been watching child porn.
He looks like. Now. Celine just said he looks a little bit like somebody who's been watching child porn. We don't know. So anyway, what's weird is that there's also, I saw a picture of Jared Day who made what turns out now to be his last promotional appearance for Subway, July 4th. So that was just, I think that was the same day they first raided his trailer, wasn't it? No, I guess they did it on Tuesday. So, and in that picture, he looks, while not thin, he looks still like, oh my God, that guy has really kept that weight off. And it's funny because here he is in an unguarded moment, and this picture was taken just 2 days after the other picture, and he looks pillowy, as I said. And then I look closer at the picture where he was at a NASCAR event, I think. And Margaret, your tweet just came through literally 7,000 times. It has just taken up my... Look at that. Why did that do that? Margaret has written me, go with wind, as opposed to solar. There's not much wind here either, though. No. So, okay. But I saw how the Subway people really, they protected that image. He had to look good, even though he clearly had gained some weight. So then, looking at the NASCAR picture from the 4th, he has a slimming shirt on. He has a shirt that is like, I can't remember exactly, maybe like white on the front or something. And then it's got these lines on the side that come and do it makes your eyes do a trick on you. And it absolutely slices about 2 inches off each side of his body. But, man, yeah, he looks... I don't know. This other guy that was running his foundation is the one that has been... He's been charged with 7 counts of production of child pornography, which is one step up from possession or watching. Jeez. So anyway, there's a cautionary tale here in the Wall Street Journal. This is how they report it. A cautionary tale for any company to hitch its star to one human being as their front man, their spokesperson, the thing that people think of when they think of their brand, is a very dangerous enterprise. Because if that person crashes and burns, a la Tiger Woods, a la whatever, and Jared, it turns out, on the list of endorsers who are known, recognized, people actually do those metrics, he was ahead of Shaq, ahead of Shaquille O'Neal. Well, I must say, I thought that was impressive. But it's rare for a company to have someone who comes from out of nowhere. I mean, look at him. I mean, this guy's supposed to be the face of a corporation, but he has been. The Subway guy. So anyway, it's like a cautionary tale in the Wall Street Journal for any business person who wants to hitch put all its eggs in one basket. But we don't know. Do you believe, speaking of celebrities that crash, do you believe that Whoopi Goldberg is still refusing to acknowledge that Bill Cosby might have done something wrong? Whoopi, it makes me not like you. It makes me not even want to listen to you anymore. That is stark raving nuts. And it's also, I mean, it doesn't put you on the side that you belong, which is with your sisters. Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, and here's one. Tell this to Donald Trump so he can use this, and actually it means that he'll have an actual fact in whatever rant he's doing. This will give him a fact that he can go nuts with. The United States now has the second highest number of Spanish speakers in the world. That means out of all those countries, like South America, not to mention Spain, we have more Spanish speakers in the United States than Spain, from whence it came. That's pretty amazing. Now, that's the kind of thing Donald Trump could run with. What is the number one country? If the U.S. is number 2, what's number 1? Mexico! So there you have it. It's Mexico and it's us. And I'm not sure who's third. So, were you watching the Pirate game last night? No. There was the most amazing... I mean, first of all, there was just this... I can't imagine it's not like on ESPN shows today, the video of it. Middle of the game, which was rain delayed to start with, I think, and, because you can hardly get it. It's amazing we've gotten as many games in as we have. All of a sudden, how this weather's been. All of a sudden, whoof, the wind just comes blowing into the field, and the rain comes just pouring down. And the grounds crew, there's some poor guys who's standing there in the batter's box like this, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. They come running with the tarp trying to cover the field, and the wind is whipping that thing all over the place. A guy, one of the grounds crew, gets swallowed up in it. Did you see it? It's amazing. We have a call? I wasn't done, though. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Real quick.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I wrote a little tune to I'm Just a Bill. Remember that from Schoolhouse Rock?
I'm Just a Bill from Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
On Capitol Hill.
Right?
Yes. Go.
We've done lyrics. Got to get this out of my system. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here with a Quaalude pill. Well, it's a long, long journey to try and get pity. It's a long, long wait, and I'm starting to feel shitty. But I know I broke the law some days. At least I hoped and got a cheap thrill. But today I am still
just a bill.
Second verse. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here with a Quaalude pill. Well, now I'm a schmuck. But I'm witty, so I sit here and wait while the fans that I had discuss and debate whether they should let me go with my flaw. Oh, how I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still
just a bill. That's okay. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You
All
too.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'll laugh a minute. Okay. Where was I? Oh, so swallows up one of the ground crew members. Meanwhile, the rain is coming like in pitchforks. This is like around 8 o'clock. And the tarp is up 20 feet in the air and billowing, and there's probably people, it looks like hanging from it. And at one point they take a shot from around home plate, and you see this thing. It's also in the middle, and there's people, and the shot is taken from behind McCutcheon and Rodriguez, and they're standing. It's behind them, and they're standing there watching this thing, and you can tell they're just marveling at what they're seeing and laughing. And then you can see something click in their heads, which is, maybe this isn't funny. And so you see them both, almost at the same time, start to walk toward this. And they're walking and walking you can tell they're thinking, maybe we should help. Maybe there's something. And the closer they get, the faster they start walking, because they start so toward the end, and independently of each other, it's interesting. Da 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 da, and they grab onto the tarp, and they're pulling, and other people are racing out and pulling. And there must have been 20,000 people hanging off that tarp. And finally, it disgorged the poor grounds crew guy. At one point, I think you saw a leg. It was sort of a leg up in the air. It was the best action of the game, without a doubt. It was wonderful. I loved it. And you could tell the players, once they knew the guy was safe, they were having a riot. They were having fun. I sort of thought once they got it sort of under control, one of the players would just jump on it and start sliding. You know, you can, you know what fun you could have, just sort of sliding on that thing, because it was just an unbelievable downpour. And given the way the weather has been, after all of that effort, where they nailed it finally down, I thought, that's a burst of a cell, and it's going to... no sooner do they get the tarp down than I bet the sun will come out or something. And, well, it was dark, but... and it did. They did get the game in. They won that game. And I think the Pirates are like 4.5 out. Are they 5 out or 4 out? Unbelievable. St. Louis coming into town. St. Louis and the Furries arrive pretty much the same time. Is Pittsburgh a happening place or what? So here's what's odd. Margaret, I just managed to scroll down twice and delete all your go with wind. No sooner did I do it than a whole bunch more of go with wind came back up. What's going on?
Glitch on one side or another.
Huh? A glitch on one side or the other. Margaret, watch it. Yeah, I just deleted a whole other one. It just keeps coming. 5,000 of them. Margaret, you are not allowed to tweet anymore. I mean, to do whatever you're doing to me anymore today. Something's wrong. And now I've lost the thing I wanted to have. Damn it. Okay. Hi. I sort of feel like I'm not on the air. Can you tell? I sort of do. Anyway, the groundskeeper who nearly died last night is Jeff Miller. That's his name. And, well, I don't know. The PG has him 4.5 back, but I don't know if that means that there's not a St. Louis. No, the Cardinals got beat. Twice yesterday they got beat in a doubleheader by the Cubs. Yes! All right. Let's hear it for Chicago. Great. We're 4.5 back. We've been there before. But quite clearly, St. Louis is showing that they have, they're human, which is always nice to remember since they seem superhuman. Oh, so I saw Hillary a little bit yesterday doing this. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't get into her. I just can't. I'm voting for her. Don't worry. She was asked about a poll that showed that like an incredible majority of Americans, even some who are supporting her, don't trust her. That's like me. Don't like her, don't trust her, whatever. And the reporter must have asked 20 times, why is that? And she pointed fingers at media, at the right wing, at the this and that, the conservative campaign, blah, 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 blah. And the reporter said, but I mean, does it have anything? Are you in any way? Does it have anything to do with you? I mean, you have any responsibility for people feeling that way? And to watch her, this is why I hate interviewing politicians. She never, ever, ever even got close to addressing it, and clearly would not acknowledge one little teeny Margaret! That's weird. It just happened again. I don't think she's doing it. But it's coming in at this. It says 10:17. The other one said 10:10. So what?
I can't fix it.
You can't fix it, but you think it's my problem?
No, I think it's from her side.
You think it's Margaret's problem?
I think something's glitching with her email.
Okay.
Just gotta ignore it.
Okay, I have to ignore it. But there's no room for anybody else to get in. Okay, but I have to keep getting rid of them. No, never mind. Never mind.
Email is a bottomless pit.
Pay no attention to the old lady trying to deal with technology. Oh, remember when I told you the other day that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is an international powerhouse in a way, and that it actually spends tons of money and time lobbying other countries' legislative bodies to not regulate in any way tobacco. Because the U.S. Chamber, of course, wanting to help the tobacco companies in the United States, knows that since Americans are no longer as susceptible to the sales pitch, nor can they be pitched as readily, that, yes, I get a call. Hello? Hello?
Lynn?
Yes. Yes? Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Hello? Okay, just... This is called dead air. This is what dead air sounds like. I needed to compose myself because I'm very quickly annoyed. Which is why my son always says, "Why are you so angry?" And why I say, "I'm not angry. I'm vociferous." I'm not going to live long.
Oh my God.
I can see it now. I'm killing myself. That's what he says. You know, you're killing yourself. This is the kind... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to note it. I'm not going to go with wind. I'm going to have a nightmare. I'm going to have a nightmare tonight that's going to go with wind. Maybe that means something. Mike. Oh, somebody made it through. Mike said, "I don't know if you are serious about solar power. If you remember, I was the one who referred you. I can get a bonus or bird dog free. Is it apropos since I am the Birdman?" Why? I am the Birdman. You are the walrus. I feel like the world is coming to an end. Hey, yeah, Mike, I know. Yeah, you're the one who did it. And I got in touch with the people from Solar, what is it called? Yes, you're the one. Am I supposed to give your name? You get a dog for referring me? What? I was the one who referred you. If you purchase, I can get a bonus or a bird dog fee. I saw you could get a bird dog free, which I didn't know what it had to do with solar energy. If anyone is still listening to this show, you're out of your cotton picking mind. So I was saying, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is like the biggest tobacco lobbyist in the world. And they use their muscle all around so that at least tobacco companies can still sell their death in Asia and Africa. Let's kill some black and brown people, since the whites seem to have sort of caught on. And I said, why would any self-respecting company belong to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce? Because simply by membership, by paying whatever membership fees you have, that's what it goes for. Killing people and electing Republicans. Yeah? So I am thrilled to see the business section, the New York Times today, that CVS said yesterday it was resigning from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce after it read the same story I did. How it was undertaking a global lobbying campaign against anti-smoking laws. CVS, which you maybe recall last year, stopped selling any tobacco products because it said, they even renamed themselves CVS Health. So it just didn't go together. We're supposedly trying to make people healthier. I mean, in terms of their brand, I think it's all really, really smart. And here's what CVS said. We were surprised to read recent reports concerning the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's position on tobacco. Our purpose is to help people on their path to better health, and we fundamentally believe tobacco use is in direct conflict with this purpose, and so bang, they're out. I love it! And there are 4 other healthcare companies that serve on its board. Anthem Healthcare Service Corporation, the Steward Healthcare System of Boston, and the Indiana University Health System. I mean, really. So there should be pressure being put on those guys. What? You're on the board of the chamber? And you got health in your title? And this is what you're spending your time, energy, money on? You got employees literally working to hook people on a product that is known to kill. So that was some good news I read today, and I just wanted to pass it on since sometimes I throw things out and then we never hear about it again. Okay. What's in the news today? What is the big news today? There isn't anything. There isn't any, right? There's horrific things. Child dead, killed by mother, probably. The furries coming to town. I'm sorry. It's odd. I know we've come to embrace them, but I still get a little flipped when I walk out and I'm standing on a street corner and I'm standing next to a guy and he looks normal, and then he walks a little bit ahead of me, and there's a huge bushy tail coming out of his butt. It's a little disconcerting. I mean, it is. And I think, well, that's great, and that's cool. And that's Pittsburgh. So... I'm sorry, I'm having, I'll try to, whatever. Have I done a lot of, like, dead air? Yeah, today. Today is a very much of a dead air day. Hey, speaking of not dead air, we have there's radio stations in our little pod right here. And, one of them, what is it called?
Which one? Bob?
It's not Bob. It's the other one.
Ooh, this is bad.
Yeah, we should know, because, I mean, you should know. Go out and look.
I know.
No, okay, you don't have to. Anyway, one of Pittsburgh's
Sorry.
Q,
There we go.
QFM. QFM, it's just 2 doors down here. They got Jimmy Crenn, who's much loved. Okay, we're going to try a phone call. Hang on.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Ha! I'm losing my mind. How are you?
Good. Hey, you were talking about health care. I'm amazed by how they've pushed this where they make everybody believe if you go to the doctors, that's going to make you healthy. And there's so many studies of drugs that they give to the patients that causes so many problems. Like the statins right now, they're under fire. The these ones they take for their heartburn. That's another one. The list goes on and on. It's just amazing. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to doctors or anything like that, but it's just amazing. In the over-testing they do, that's just ridiculous to charge Medicare. But it's amazing how that way you'll have a health care plan and you can go to the doctors and we'll keep you healthy. I don't always believe they do. They say do no harm, but they do harm. Many times they do harm.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I'm no fan of health care in this country. But
No.
On the other hand, I am taking one of those statins, and I'm also taking one of those heartburn
Right.
remedies.
Yeah, I
Because
take blood pressure medicine. I know.
you know what? You have to pick your I without them, there are huge risks. With them, there are risks as well. What are you supposed to do? I don't know.
I mean, I don't feel. I'm taking a couple different meds and that. I don't feel like that. I'm going to live for long because I actually kind of worry that it's going to shorten my life, but I got to take them. So I don't,
Well,
it
is
doesn't
it
make me feel good to take them, thinking, oh, I'm glad I'm taking that medicine because you know what, it's going to extend my life. I don't believe that. I think it is short.
Well, there's no way of proving. I mean, you don't know.
You don't know because you don't know how long you'd live anyway.
That's correct.
So how do you prove it?
Yeah.
And they know that.
Well, you get scared. You're scared, and look, if you've got high blood pressure, which can kill you, and they give you a pill, and it's quite clear that pill drops your blood pressure.
Right.
You aren't going to take the pill? Yeah, you are. I mean, you could try first eating only,
Right.
eating only lettuce. You could, diet and exercise your way.
And I do that.
But it doesn't, for some people, that doesn't do, it helps, but it doesn't do it. Yeah.
And then they've changed the guidelines for the blood pressure now. And it's all right to have 140 over 90 if you're, like, over 65. It's just funny how
I know, they're always...
They want it under 120 over 80.
I know.
No,
as you age, it is true. The heart, your blood pressure will go up and should, because I guess for some reason it takes more pressure. Why is that? To get up and where it needs to be, maybe because
Right.
you're a little more sclerotic.
And push the cholesterol through, too.
And you got to push all that cholesterol through.
That's what they say.
Look, I mean, here's the fact. If we lived 200 years ago, if I were born 100 years ago, I would be dead by now.
Yeah.
I know I would. I mean, believe me. I would be dead so many times over. I would be dead like 6 times. That's how much crap I got going on. Yeah. So, I mean, I hate medicine, and on the other hand, it has kept me up and moving. Except I do look at it as a potential threat to my life as well.
Right.
It's a strange relationship.
Yeah, it is. You got that right. Okay.
Hang in there.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God. Did you hear about the new app? You have to, the world of Uber, that whole sense of, everything is just a push of a button away. That is where the service industry is going. You need something, you pick up your phone and bang, there's someone who's willing to just jump, get it, bring. And that's where we're heading, I think. And here's the latest, if you missed it. There's now a dog walking app, which is to say that it's called WAG, and it is to dog walkers what Uber is to taxis. If you're stuck at work, you thought you were going to get home to let Trixie out, and you ain't, and she needs to go. Well, there's an app that obviously you filled out. I mean, the people on the other end know who you are, have access to a key. They do a lockbox like a realtor does. And you just tell them, I need you over there right away. And They say here that what that'll cost you, and this seems cheap to me, is $20 for a one-on-one 30-minute walk. And rather than racing home, let's say, to walk the dog, why wouldn't you do that? Now, you can obviously schedule walks in advance with this crowd, or they actually have what's called a right now button. And that works 7 days a week. And it's like, bang, get my dog. That's cool. You think? Celine is mixed about it. And it says here that to be considered for a position as one of these on-call dog walkers, you go through a lot of vetting. So, because they know dog owners are nuts about their dogs. They love them to death. And they don't want anyone screwing with them. So, if you want to be one of these on-demand dog walkers, you undergo a background check. You do tests. You have rigorous training. You're somebody who knows how to keep dogs' paws cool on a hot day and protected from salt and cold on a snowy day. And you know what to do if the dog, let's say, would get bitten or stung by a bee or anything. I mean, so the dog walkers have to be sort of more adept than you in some respects. And obviously, all these walkers are certified, they're insured. And it says here they earn about $25 an hour. I do that. How can they earn $25 an hour if, okay, standard is $20 for a one-on-one 30-minute. So wait a minute. So they're bringing in $40 an hour, and the dog walker's getting 25. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not the capitalist way. That's not enough of a return. I don't know. I don't get that. Anyway, it ain't here, so you can't do it here. This is just starting up, and it's on the West Coast. And it's, obviously, everything will be done like this. You'll see doctors like that on call. That'd be nice. I mean, but just on your phone, I got a feeling doctors we aren't going to have a lot of interaction with doctors in the future, which isn't good, because they're already sort of being taken from us by virtue of the fact that they can't sit and talk to you like they used to without a computer in front of their face and entering data all the time and stuff like that. And eventually it's just, I don't know, sad, I think. And I wonder why people will want to go into the field, as they say. Okay. I feel very odd today. Can you tell? Celine can tell. Is it like disjointed? Is it untethered? It's untethered. And it's like purposeless. It's I
think emotion says it best.
I'm blaming Margaret. Margaret! I'm blaming you. That go with wind, which is now still staring at me. The latest came in at 10 minutes ago. 10:29. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like I'm not here. What is going on? I'm sorry. I beg your forgiveness. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I wanted to share this little tidbit with you. It has to do with teenage birth rate. That's serious. The teenage birth rate in just one Colorado town, or maybe county, has come plummeting down. And this is a direct result of a program that was launched 6 years ago that made access to long-acting birth control measures, like an IUD, made that available to teens and poor women at no cost. So they did this. They had a program where they did it. Women came through came through every portal in every healthcare establishment that was a part of this and said, I want that. I want that. The birth rate among teenagers, this was statewide, across the state in Colorado, plunged 40%, almost cut in half in 5 years. The rate of abortions fell by 42%. So, if the right to life guys don't want abortions, don't want women having abortions, guys, rather than standing outside Planned Parenthood with your bloody, dismembered fetuses, how about putting your energy into making this kind of a program available to women all over? Poor women don't have access to these things at a price they can, and you give them this stuff, and they want it. They do not want more children. Teens don't want children. But here's the problem with the Right to Life crowd and their bloody fetuses. They don't want contraception. And they don't want sex education. And good God, they sure as hell don't want teenagers being allowed to get an IUD. So, abstinence only, it doesn't work. It goes against human nature. It goes against human chemistry, human hormonal activity, which is greatest when you're a teenager. And exactly at the same time when your capacity for making wise judgment ain't quite up to snuff. But you stand in the way of that, of sex ed. You know who does tons of sexual education? I mean, they're everywhere. And they partner with a lot of school districts. You know who does that? Yeah. Planned Parenthood. Tons of money and time and effort because they don't want to do abortions. They're all about lowering the abortion rate. Whereas the bloody fetus people outside their front door every day would have you believe that Planned Parenthood is nothing more than a bunch of butchers with bloody knives waiting to get their hands on the next pregnant woman. Hello?
Hello, it's Mike from D.C.
Hey, Mike.
The anti-abortionist doesn't have anything to do with abortion. It has to do with power. Every fight in every constituency is about one thing, power. And they don't want women to have power. It's misogyny. There's no way around it that you can say, I don't want you to do something as a male because you shouldn't, isn't misogyny. It's the hatred of women.
Mike, how do you get around the fact, though, then, that when I see these women, it's women who spearhead this misogynist
the worst
campaign.
The worst offenders of homophobia are gay men in the closet.
Okay.
So you can be misogynistic or a misogynist and be a woman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it was really about abortion, Obama would be touted as the best president in our nation's history for limiting the number of abortions, because that's what Obamacare will do. Because if women who don't want babies don't get pregnant, guess what? They don't have abortions.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with abortion. It has to do with power and control.
Pretty much. But I think these people are fueled by their faith, too. But you're saying the faith is about control.
Their faith is misogynistic. Most faiths are.
I'm not arguing with you. They don't see it.
It's no
they don't
wonder
see it that way.
Don't see that. And another thing that anti-abortionists get when they join their team is they get to feel superior. I may beat my wife, but at least I'm not for killing babies. I may abandon my kids or not put and take them to McDonald's every day for dinner, but I don't kill babies. It's a way they can bolster themselves to say, I'm not that bad because I'm not like them.
Well, I have to tell you, they've done a masterful job of winning the, I think, PR war. And because the Republican Party is so is smart enough to know that real power resides in legislatures and has taken legislatures left and right, while Democrats only seem to care about one thing, and that's the White House. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, you got the Catholic Church to deal with, and you got, I guess, evangelicals in general to deal with.
When are women going to rise up and say...
I don't know. When are Americans going to rise up? There's a bunch of books out now about why Americans why we're not going to see another American Revolution.
Did you see what Meryl Streep did? She sent a letter to every congressperson about the ERA.
About the ERA?
Uh-huh. About equal rights for women. You didn't read that article?
No. She's bringing up the ERA again? Been there, done that.
Equal rights.
Equal rights.
For women.
It is true. Women are, I mean, it is just amazing. Still paid less, still blah, 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 blah. And women, I think, often are our own worst enemies. I think.
Just like closeted gay men are our worst enemies.
Mm-hmm. So given that, do you think that the Republican Party has more gay elected officials than the Democrats? Now, the Republicans don't have out gay officials. But if you were, what's your guess of how many we know gay Democrats, but there's not any out Republican in Congress.
Remember where I live.
You're in D.C.
You can go to the gay bar on any night of any week and meet 50 gay Republicans who work on the Hill. Mm-hmm. At one point on my Match.com thing, it says, no Republicans, because it was really bad under the Bush years. Every other gay guy was a self-hating Republican.
But they're out. I mean, if they're in the gay bar, they're sort of out, right?
But that's not what out needs to happen. You don't need to be out to other gay people. You need to be out to your parents. You need to be out to your congressperson. You need to be out to your doctor. You need to be out to your next-door neighbor. That's where change happens, not by leaving your house and going to a gay bar where only other gay people are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably at least, well, Kinsey said 10% of the population is gay. So that wouldn't change anymore if you were Republican or Democrat.
But I'm suggesting there might be more Republican gays. Because if you're a self-loathing gay, that's where you're going.
Right.
You're not going to be comfortable with the Democrats.
And I heard something really interesting. Maybe was it from you? I'm sorry if it was. But someone said about the reason that the Republicans and men in general may not want gay marriage is because it changes the definition of marriage from a contract where you're a woman, I own you, to we're both equal now because there's no woman or no subservient person in that contract.
No, I didn't say that, but that's interesting.
Which is another, and I think that homophobia is really misogyny, just hidden under homophobia.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, it is the fear of feminization. It's you don't want to be a woman. You don't want to be.
The worst thing you can be
is a woman.
Right.
And you see, the very sexual act. It appears that the woman is the submissive party because she is the one who is entered, right? Men, and men have a great fear of ending up in that position. And so that feeds a lot of male homophobia, the fear of being the woman.
God forbid.
Yeah.
And then don't even talk about cutting your penis off and becoming Caitlyn. You know what I mean? So they're all up in arms because we're saying to them, it's not bad to be a woman.
That's true.
And you can't have contract ownership over another person. So those poor white guys, I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I just think a lot of people, it's going to take a long time for people to get their heads around some of this. But the woman thing, that's got to be as old as humanity, doesn't it? By virtue of the fact, too, that women do, there's different consequences for men and women of the sexual act, right?
Right. Which is
men, there is no consequence.
Was that if the argument for abortion wasn't Roe v. Wade, privacy, if it was that as a citizen, I have the right to control my body, or I am equal to a man. A man can control his reproductive system. I'm a woman. I can control my reproductive system. If that was the argument that won instead of Roe v. Wade, there would be no 30 days vaginal probe.
But it didn't win. That's not
that wasn't the argument they chose to go with. They thought they had a better shot if they said sex was a privacy issue. And you can't, then the government can't step into that. That was an article I read from the New Yorker that said that argument. I wasn't brilliant enough to come up with that. But they said that was the difference between the gay agenda and the right to abortion agenda, was that we went with equal and they went with privacy.
Uh-huh. Which is increasingly a concept that people don't even comprehend anymore.
Right.
Well, so tell me, I read something. You obviously are a voracious reader. I read something that said that given one of the downsides of the gay marriage acceptance is that gay culture is going to take a hit. So gay bars, in fact. Why do you need gay bars now? That was what you needed in order to meet, to be together. And if gays can marry, if gays is nothing, no big deal, then why would you have that separate culture? And that eventually gays will assimilate and the culture will be lost, which has been an exceedingly creative culture. What do you think?
In 1979, I'm sitting in my grandmother's living room on a lime green carpet, and I'm watching a gay parade in San Francisco. And I said, oh, my God, there are gay people there. I can go to San Francisco and be gay. Now, no little kid has to do that. All they have to do is have a smartphone, download an app called Grindr, and they can find out the nearest gay guy within a foot.
So why do you need gay bars?
Right. So it's Grindr and modern communication that's getting rid of the gay bar.
Okay.
But it's totally different. I moved here 15 years ago, and the gay culture is totally different. And on Star Trek, they said, one of the Borg says, resistance is futile, and it's true. Even our culture is being assimilated into the larger culture.
But it is true what you're saying is DC might have a larger concentration of self-loathing gays than any other metropolitan area.
Yes.
And do you know it drinks more than any other area except my home state of Wisconsin?
Really?
Yeah.
More alcohol?
More alcohol. Wisconsin wins so far, hands down. It's a joke, and coming in DC. So one's a mostly rural state, and the other is what's going on there?
Doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me.
And drinks here are expensive.
Drink is expensive. Yeah.
Here, yeah.
Huh. Well, there you go. So you're DC. I hear it's horrible there. You like it? Okay.
Yeah, I should have moved when I was 22, not 38.
Oh, really? You really like it?
Yeah. It's just a different environment. My family keeps asking, when are you going to move back? And there's no gentle way to say never, you know? It's just not as parochial as Pittsburgh. And when I was in Pittsburgh, I was always the gay guy. Okay. I'm not the gay guy now. I'm the bald guy, or
you wouldn't be in Pittsburgh either, though, don't you think?
No, I can't imagine even 15 years later that how many out people are at where you work. You know what I mean? I can't imagine there are that many more in 15 years.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Remember, I don't work here, but this is an alternative newspaper, Pittsburgh City paper.
That's true. And it would attract a larger crowd.
Yeah, every other person here is gay.
Oh, really? That's encouraging.
It seems like there's an awful lot of them. I'm just kidding. Did you hear this guy? Oh, no, I got to get this guy. Did you hear the guy who's written this book, Do I Sound Gay?
No.
He's gay. And he talks about how it really, when he was a kid, he tried so hard not to sound gay because it gets you beat up. But he did sound gay. And so he ended up writing this book about what does that mean? And what is that? You don't sound gay.
Oh, I think I do.
No.
And I have a degree in theater from Point Park, so
okay, but
I spent $50,000 not to sound gay, and I still think I do.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Now, the guy who wrote the book, he does. But what is that? I want to read that book.
It's that, not to circle back to what we were talking about before, but it's that misogyny. What's wrong with sounding feminine?
There you go.
And that's what Do I Sound Gay means. It means, do I sound like a girl?
Well, no, you don't. But, yeah. But I don't think I don't know. No, but there's that sibilance thing. That's not feminine, is it?
I had a therapist once that said our culture confuses boy-like with feminine. So
boy-like,
when you see a gay guy and his arms are moving or he's being effeminate, what he's really being is boy-like. Oh. And boys do, and adolescents do have a sibling S or often.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. There's so many mysteries in this life. But anyway.
Lots of stories.
Yeah. It's always great to talk to you, Mike. Thank you. You saved me today because I have been, my head's like, I don't know. It would be, if you were to look in my head today, it would not be a pretty picture. It's a mess.
Good to know.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Right on time, he saved my ass. Way to go! Thank you very much. Coming up tomorrow, something better, I promise.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.